Hello everyone, welcome to the class with Sister Josephine. I am going to deal with class 9 and 10, English 2, Merchant of Venice. Act 1, Scene 2. Today we are going to deal with the numbers from 1 to 40. Welcome. Before we begin, let us have introduction to this theme, this Scene 2. The scene moves from Venice to Belmont, where Portia is introduced to us. Now the scene 1 was taking place in Venice. Now the scene changes to Belmont, where Portia is there. Portia discusses with her maid Nerissa the scheme of lottery of caskets by which her suitors choose one of the three caskets in order to win her. So this is the casket system which was made by her father. Some suitors have already come, but Portia disliked all of them. Nerissa tells her of Bassanio, whom she had found attractive. So this is the discussion between Portia and Nerissa. So let us see the scene in details now. Scene 2. The venue is Belmont, a room in Portia's house, and here enter Portia and Nerissa. Now Portia speaks. By troth, Nerissa, my little body is weary of this great world. Now Portia is telling that, honestly I tell you Nerissa, my little body is very tired of this world. Weary means very tired, exhausted. No? My little body is very tired of this world or exhausted of this world. Now to that Nerissa is replying, you would be, sweet man, if your miseries were in the same abundance as your good fortunes are. This two line, which means that Nerissa is replying, of course you would be tired, sweet madam, since you have as many miseries as you have good fortunes. Okay, this as many miseries as you have good fortunes. That's the two lines means. And yet, for aught I see, they are as sick that surfeit with too much as they that starve with nothing. Now that these lines means that, yet as far as I can think, people who have too much are just as sick as those who are ill and starving by having nothing with them. In simple words, she tells that even though people those who have got too much of wealth are also same like the people those who are sick and ill and starving out of having nothing with them. That's the meaning. It is no mean happiness therefore to be seated in the mean, which means that she tells that it is not a bad fortune then to be placed between two extremes of having too much and too little. That's the meaning. Superfluity comes sooner by white hairs, but competency lives longer. These two lines means that the man who has got too much of wealth becomes grey-haired sooner. Very soon he gets white hair or grey hair very soon. But he who has got just enough to live lives longer. Competency means the man who has got just enough livelihood to live lives longer. That is the meaning of this paragraph. To that Portia replies, good sentences and well pronounced, which means that of course good words and you spoke well. Nerissa says, they would be better if well followed, which means that it would be better if these words would have been followed well. To that Portia replies that if to do were as easy as to know what were good to do, chapels had been churches and poor men's cottages prince palaces. Now these three lines means that it is if to do good things, no? If to do very easy means if to do good is as easy as to know what is good, the chapels would have been churches and poor men's houses would be the royal palaces. Now what is the chapel? Let us know. Chapel means it is a small place of worship where Christians call a prayer room. In simple words we call it as a prayer room. So that's what she is telling. If to do good things were so easy to know what is good, even the small place of worship also would be a big church, and a poor man's small house also will become the palace of a prince. That's what these words mean. Now the next line. It is good divine that follows his own instructions, which means that he says that a good and wise person, a good and wise priest or a good and wise person follows his own instruction. What he preaches, he does. he follows what he preaches. That's what he preaches to others, he follows in his life. The next three lines, I can easier teach 20 that were good to be done than be one of the 20 to follow mine own teaching. Which means that I can more easily tell 20 people what is good. I can preach to 20 people to be good and to do good. Then I become one of the 20 to follow my own teaching. I should become, instead of telling 20 people do good, I should become one of the 20 to do the good things and to follow my own teaching. Next. The brain may devise laws for blood, but a hot temper leaps over a cold decree. Which means that the human mind may frame rules and regulations for the brain, but the heat of the desire sometimes overpowers the cold decree or the cold laws that the brain has made. Our brains may make some rules and regulations in order to control our own blood, our own body, but the heat of our own human desire sometimes overpowers the laws that is made by the brain. That's the meaning of these two lines. Such a hair is madness the youth to skip over the measures of good counsel the cripple. Which means that the impulse of youth, the impulse of youth will make you to skip the good advice given by others. Surely, naturally, youth will never like the good advices given by the elders, so they try to skip the good advices given by the elders. And it is like the rabbit trying to escape the trap. That's the meaning. When the rabbit is trying to escape the trap, in the same way, the youth people are trying to escape the good advice of the wise one. But this reasoning is not in the fashion to choose me a husband. Oh me, the word choose. I may neither choose whom I would, nor refuse whom I dislike. Which means that this impulse of, these things and all is not applicable. This kind of logic is not applicable to me in my life. And which will make me to choose a husband. In the way I am going to choose my husband. Now she's saying, oh, what a word is choose. This word, oh me, the word choose means what a word is this choose. I can neither choose whom I like nor refuse the one who I dislike. That's what she says. Because of the cascade system her father has made, she cannot choose whom she likes, or she cannot even refuse whom I dislike. Means whom she dislikes, she cannot refuse. She has to marry that person. So is the will of a living daughter curbed by the will of a dead father. So what is the situation? That is the situation of a living daughter, who is being controlled by the will of a dead father who is dead and gone. So her life is being controlled by the father who is dead and gone. Is it not hard, Nerissa, that I cannot choose one nor refuse one? So she's telling, is it not very hard, Nerissa, that I can neither choose nor refuse any husband who is going to choose me? That's the meaning. To that, Nerissa replied, your father was very virtuous. Means your father was a very virtuous man, very good, pious, full of good virtues he was. And holy men at their death have good inspirations. Means the people who are good, holy men, those who are considered to be holy and good and wise, they get lot of good inspirations at their deathbeds. Means before their death, they give lot of good advices. Therefore, the lottery that he hath devised in these three chests of gold, silver and lead, whereof who chooses his meaning chooses you, will no doubt never be chosen by any rightly but one who shall rightly love. Which means that she says that your father was a good man, and maybe like the holy people who are going to who usually give good inspirations at their deathbed, your father also has devised, namely the three choice among the three caskets. And these three caskets are made up of, first one is made up of gold, second one is made up of silver, and the third one is made up of lead. Now in which the one who makes the correct choice will be winning you in his life in marriage. Now I have no doubt that you will be chosen correctly by a person whom you will truly love. Listen, I have no doubt that you will be rightly chosen. You will be rightly chosen by the person who really will love you. That's what that means. Your choice may not go. Portia cannot choose the one who is really loving Portia only will choose. That's what she is feeling. But what warmth is thee in your affection towards any of these princely suitors that are already come? So now again she is putting a question before now Portia. Do you have any special affection or love, okay, towards the princely suitors so far have already come to make this competition? That's what she. Do you have any love or any affection towards already those who have come and gone for this casket system? That's what she asked. To that, now let us see what Portia is going to reply. Portia says, I pray thee, overname them, and as thou namest them, I will describe them. Okay. Okay, please then, okay, then I can tell you about those who have already come and gone. So you name them one by one. As you name them, I will describe about them, what they are, who they were, what kind of personality they possessed, all those things. And according to my description, level at my affection. So you can understand according to the level of my description or explanation about those men, you can understand about my love for them, about my affection for them. So Nerissa says, okay, first there is the Neapolitan Prince of Naples. The first one to come as a suitor was Neapolitan Prince of Naples. Okay. Now Portia is describing about this Prince of Naples. That's a colt indeed. Okay, that's a colt indeed means colt. Okay, he is just like a wild young horse. He is just like a young wild horse. For he doth nothing but talk of his horse. Fellow, he did nothing but he was only talking about his horse. So he has come to meet Portia and trying to win her in marriage. But what was he doing? He was only talking about his horse to her. Okay. And he makes it a great appropriation to his own good parts that he can show himself. Means that besides that he considers appropriation means is okay, it's suitability. Okay, it is his suitability or his appropriation means he considered it as it is his merit, his own good parts means it's as it is merit, and in telling to everyone that he can only show his own horse. He can only it is he who can shoe his own horse, means who can have control over his horse. That is the explanation that is given by about the Prince of Naples. So you can easily understand whether Portia might have liked him or not liked. So that's enough for today, dear students. In the next class we shall continue with the same scene, and still then stay healthy, learn easily. Thank you.